How the Amish feed chickens for $1.25 a week. It actually works? Imagine this. You're standing in the feed store, staring at bags of chicken feed that cost more than your weekly grocery bill. Prices keep rising. You start wondering, how do people in the past afford to keep chickens? More importantly, how do the Amish do it? Because let's be real, their flocks are big, their eggs are plenty, but their feed costs? Shockingly low. The Amish have figured it out. They don't just cut costs, they almost erase them. They feed their chickens for as little as $1.25 a week per bird. No gimmicks, no magic, just time-tested, common-sense methods passed down for generations. Sounds too good to be true? That's fair, but let's break it down. They aren't cutting corners. They aren't starving their birds. Instead, they've mastered the art of smart, sustainable chicken feeding. The kind that keeps their birds healthy, their eggs top quality, and their wallets intact. Here's how they do it. Let the chickens do the work. The Amish aren't about making things harder than they need to be. Chickens, by nature, know how to find their own food. They scratch, pack, hunt. So why make them dependent on bags of store-bought feed? Free-ranging is their first secret. Their chickens aren't stuck in coops all day. They're out in the open, roaming fields, digging in the soil, finding bugs, eating weeds. The best part? It's all free. Bugs, high in protein. Grass, packed with nutrients. Seeds and weeds, more variety, more vitamins. Even in winter, Amish chickens get access to compost piles, hay bales, and sheltered outdoor spaces where insects and plant material are still available. They don't go hungry. They get creative, and they stay healthy because of it. Most backyard chicken owners don't trust their birds to free-range fully, worried about predators or bad weather. And sure, those are valid concerns. But the Amish have a simple solution. Supervised free-ranging and natural deterrence. Roosters for protection. Tall grass for hiding spots. Even trained farm dogs to keep watch. The more a chicken feeds itself, the less you have to pay. It's that simple. Waste nothing because it's all chicken feed. Ever watched an Amish kitchen at work? Nothing gets thrown away. If it can be used, it is. Chickens benefit from this mindset. Instead of spending money on expensive grain, Amish farmers use kitchen scraps, leftovers, and homemade feed. What's on the menu? Vegetable peels, overripe fruit, stale bread. Waste for you, gourmet feast for them. Leftover dairy, a little whey from cheese making, perfect calcium boost for strong eggshells. Cooked rice, old pasta, cornmeal. Carbs keep chickens full and warm, especially in colder months. Chickens are not picky. They eat what's available. The Amish don't measure every gram or worry about perfect ratios. They focus on balance. A little protein, a little greens, some grains, just like nature intended. Even farm waste, like crushed eggshells, butcher scraps, and fish guts, finds its way back into their diet. A natural cycle, one that saves money and eliminates waste completely. Grow it, store it, feed it. Feed companies want you to believe chickens can't survive without commercial grain. Amish farmers would laugh at that, because long before bag feed existed, people raised healthy chickens on homegrown crops and natural forage. So they do the same. They grow their own feed. Corn, dried, cracked, and stored for winter. Sunflowers, seeds packed with protein and healthy fats. Pumpkins and squash. Chickens love the flesh and seeds. Bonus? The seeds act as a natural dewormer. Alfalfa and clover, dried and used as a wintertime green source. This isn't fancy. It's practical. It's cost-effective. It's smart. And it works. No land to grow crops? No problem. Many Amish barter or buy grains in bulk from neighboring farms at a fraction of the cost of commercial feed stores. They store it properly, keep it dry, and never waste a single kernel. The power of fermentation. This part is genius. Instead of just feeding dry grains, the Amish often ferment their feed. Sounds complicated? It's not. It's just soaking grains in water for a couple of days, letting natural fermentation happen. Why do they do it? Because it makes the feed go further. Chickens eat less but get more nutrition. Plus, better digestion. Fermented grains are easier on their stomachs. Stronger immune systems. Good bacteria from fermentation keep chickens healthier. Bigger, richer eggs. More nutrients in their diet equals more nutrients in the eggs. With just a little patience, they stretch their feed supply twice as far. Cost? Almost nothing. Benefit? Huge. Natural protein boosters that cost almost nothing. Here's the thing. Chickens aren't vegetarians. They need protein to grow strong and lay good eggs. But soy-based feeds are expensive. So the Amish look elsewhere. They use what nature provides. Mealworms and black soldier fly larvae. Raised right on the farm. Earthworms, beetles, and grasshoppers. Free protein from the land. Fishing scraps. Dried fish meal is packed with protein. Leftover milk, cheese, and yogurt. A secret weapon for egg-laying hens. No expensive protein supplements. Just simple, available, free sources. Buying smart, only when necessary. Not everything can be free. Sometimes they do buy feed, but they buy wisely. Bulk purchases. They buy whole grains in large amounts, not small prepackaged bags. Community bartering. Trading excess crops for needed feed ingredients. Seasonal planning. Stocking up when prices are low, storing properly for later. They never buy what they can get for free. Beyond cost savings, the Amish approach to sustainability. Feeding chickens cheaply isn't just about saving money. It's about sustainability. The Amish have mastered a system where nothing is wasted. Everything has a purpose, and nature does most of the work. Modern poultry farming depends heavily on processed feeds, factory farming, and expensive supplements. But what happens when prices skyrocket? When supply chains break? The Amish never worry about that. Because their system, it doesn't rely on the outside world. They're feeding their flocks the way nature intended, with real food, fresh forage, and time-tested methods. Their eggs? More nutritious. Their chickens? Healthier and longer-lived. Their wallets? Still full. And here's the truth. Anyone could do this. You don't need a huge farm. You don't need expensive equipment. What you need is a mindset shift, a willingness to look beyond store-bought solutions and start thinking like the Amish. Can you feed chickens this cheaply? Yes, you can. So let's break it down. Can you actually feed chickens for as little as $1.25 a week per bird? Yes, but it depends on a few things. Do you let your chickens free range? If they're stuck in a coop all day, you'll need more store-bought feed. But if they can roam, even part-time, you'll cut costs drastically. Are you using kitchen scraps? If you're throwing away food that chickens could eat, you're literally tossing money out the door. Do you grow any supplemental feed? Even a small garden with sunflowers, pumpkins, or herbs can help. Are you fermenting feed? Just soaking grains for a few days can double their nutritional value. Can you buy in bulk? Instead of small bags from the pet store, look for bulk grains at farm suppliers. Or better yet, barter with local farmers. If you start applying even a few of these techniques, you'll see results. Your feed bill will drop. Your chickens will thrive. And you'll wonder why you ever depended on store-bought feed in the first place. The power of self-sufficiency, becoming less dependent on store-bought feed. Imagine never having to rely on a feed store again. No more overpriced bags of processed pellets. No more stressing over price hikes or shortages. Just a system that works, year after year, generation after generation. That's what the Amish have. And it's not because they have some secret feed recipe or a magic trick. It's because they've built their lives around self-sufficiency. They don't ask, where can I buy more feed? Instead, they ask, what do I already have? What does nature provide? How can I make the most of it? And the results speak for themselves. Their chickens are lean, strong, and productive, not pumped full of artificial growth stimulants. Their eggs? Richer in nutrients, deeper in color, and packed with flavor. And their feed bill? Almost non-existent. So what can you do to move toward this kind of self-sufficiency? Practical steps to reduce your chicken feed costs, inspired by the Amish. Let your chickens forage more. The Amish know that the healthiest, cheapest way to feed chickens is to let them find their own food. If you have space, let your flock roam, even for just a few hours a day. They'll naturally eat grass, bugs, seeds, and whatever else they can find. Less reliance on store-bought feed, better nutrition for your birds. Grow your own feed. The Amish don't buy feed when they can grow it themselves. Sunflowers? Packed with protein and fat. Pumpkins? Full of vitamins and a natural dewormer. Corn, millet, sorghum? All great supplemental grains. Even if you don't have acres of land, you can grow something to help offset your costs. Use kitchen scraps wisely. They don't waste a thing. Stale bread, vegetable peels, old rice, bits of meat, it all goes to the chickens. But they're smart about it. No moldy food. No processed junk. Just real, wholesome scraps that keep chickens happy and healthy. Ferment feed for more nutrition. This is an Amish staple. Fermenting grains makes them easier to digest and doubles the nutritional value. That means you can feed less while your chickens absorb more. It's simple. Just soak grains in water for a couple of days until they start bubbling. Then feed as usual. Use insects and worms as free protein sources. Mealworms, black soldier flies, earthworms, all natural, all protein-packed, and all free if you know how to cultivate them. The Amish often raise mealworms or encourage compost piles full of bugs, giving their chickens a constant, natural protein source. Buy in bulk and barter. Amish communities don't buy little bags of feed at retail prices. They buy in bulk, whole grains, corn, or wheat from local farmers, often trading or bartering for what they need. Even if you're not Amish, you can do this too. Find a local grain supplier, split a bulk order with friends, or trade homegrown vegetables for feed ingredients. Mix your own feed instead of buying pre-made pellets. Commercial feed? Full of fillers. The Amish? They mix their own. Corn, wheat, oats, and a bit of protein, like sunflower seeds or soybean meal. Make a balanced and far cheaper alternative. You control the quality. You save money. And your chickens get exactly what they need. The Amish secret? It's simplicity. There's no complicated formula. No expensive systems. Just a deep understanding of how chickens naturally eat, how nature provides, and how to use what's already available. Think about it. The Amish don't have modern technology. No fancy chicken feeders. No high-tech supplements. And yet, their flocks are some of the healthiest, happiest, and most productive you'll find. Because they trust nature. They trust tradition. They work with the land, not against it. And if they can do it, so can you. So the next time you stare at a $30 bag of chicken feed, remember this. The Amish are feeding entire flocks for a fraction of that cost. Maybe it's time to stop depending on feed stores and start thinking like the Amish. Your chickens and your wallet will thank you. The result? Happy chickens, healthy eggs, and money saved. This system works. Chickens are healthier, more active, and lay better eggs than many commercially fed flocks. And the cost? Just $1.25 per chicken per week. Compare that to modern backyard flocks spending $20 plus a month on feed. The savings are massive. Could you do the same? Absolutely. Even if you can't free-range fully or grow your own feed, small changes make a huge difference. Let your chickens forage more. Save kitchen scraps instead of tossing them. Grow even a small amount of supplemental feed. Try fermenting grains. Buy in bulk and store wisely. Cutting feed costs doesn't mean cutting corners. The Amish have proved it, and now you can too.